Okay, lesson 77 this morning, one page, we're going to get through it quick. It's finding the whole from the part. So if I know what 1/2 of something is, I can figure out what a whole something is. Or if I know what 3/5 of something is, I could find out what the whole is. 3/5 of what? We're going to find the what. Okay? So in the example, they give you 2/3 of a number is 100. Okay? And what they want you to do is go 2/3 is, so 2/3 is 100 out of what? Right? So we can figure the out of what by doing the same thing we've been doing for months, finding the equivalent fraction, right? How do I get from 2 to 100? Times 50. 3 times 50? 150. So the whole number is 150. Okay? Let's try it on the question. All right, 2/5 of a number is 4. Okay? The question says 2/5 of a number is 4, but I'm not going to write the of a number part. So 2/5 is 4 out of what? Well, how do we get from 2 to 4? Times 2, so 5 times 2, 10. So the whole number is 10. 4 is 2/5 of 10. Okay, I do one more with you. 3/7 of a number is 9. But what is the whole number? We don't know. Well, how do you get from 3 to 9? Times 3, times 3. So 21. So the whole number is 21. 3/7 of 21 is 9. Or 9 is 3/7 of 21, however you like to say it. Okay, pause the video, go answer the last one on that question. Okay, a box holds red and blue beads. Find the total number of beads in the box. 3/4 are red, right? 6 beads are red, so 3/4 is 6 out of something, but we don't know what. So we go, how do we get from 3 to 6? Times 2. How do we get to the bottom number? Times 2. So you guys can figure that one out. Okay? Next one. 3/5 are blue. 12 beads are blue, but we don't know how many there are. How do I get from 3 to 12? Times 4, times 4. That will give you your final number, how many beads there are in all, right? Total number of beads in the box. All right, now they think they're so tricky. They throw in a percent. Percent. We can do that easy. 60% are red, which is 15. Well, can I make a fraction out of 60%? All day long, of course I can. 60% is 60 out of 100. How do we get from 15 to 60? 15, 30, 45, 60 times 4, which means that this number has to multiply by 4 to make 100. So what times 4 gives you 100? 4/4 make 100, 25. So that means there's a total of 25 beads in the box. And that makes sense because 60% of them, which would be a little more than half, right? Because half is 50%. A little more than half of them are blue. And we were told that 15 are blue. And 15 would be a little more than half of 25, because half of 25 is 12.5. So by my check, our answer is correct. Okay? Then they throw in a ratio. All right, so 4 to 5. Can you make a fraction out of 4 to 5? Of course you can. 4/5. And the ratio of red to blue is 4/5. There are 20 beads. Okay? You guys figure it out. How'd you get from 4 to 20? Do the same on the bottom. That'll give you the number of beads. Okay? Pause it. Go answer the question. 3, Ron and Lisa share a sum of money. Ron receives, so Ron gets 2/5. Lisa gets 24 bucks. They want to know what fraction of the sum does Lisa receive. Okay, well if Ron has 2/5, that means that Lisa has the rest. So if this was my pizza and Ron gets this and she gets the rest, what does she get? 3/5. And we know, and then they said, how much do Ron and Lisa share? Which means they're actually looking for the whole amount of money, which is exactly what we were doing with the beads and everything else. So if Lisa gets 3/5, and that equals 24 out of the thing we're trying to figure out, how do you get from 3 to 24? Do the same on the bottom, and that'll give you the amount that they share. Okay? Pause the video, go answer number 3. Number 4, at Franklin Middle School, 3/8 of the students take a bus. 3/8 go by bus. Got it. 3/5 walk, okay? And the rest ride a bike, but we don't know how much that is, right? There are, oh, yes we do. There are 20 students who bike to school. So 20 bike to school. How many students are in the school? Okay, they think they're so tricky. We got this. First thing you should notice that we have 8s and 5ths. We can't work with 8s and 5ths. We have to have a common denominator. So what are we going to change? I can't change 8 to 5 or 5 to 8, so we have to find a number that they both go into. Easiest way to do that is to multiply them together and use that. So we're going to change it to 5 times 8 is 40. So how did I get from 8 to 40? Times 5. So 3 times 5 is 15. So this is, bus, I didn't realize I had 2 B's. 15/40ths take the bus. Now, we're going to change this to 40. So 5 to 40 is times 8. So 3 times 8 is 24. So 24/40ths walk, right? Now we have common denominators. We can add these together and figure out what fraction take a bike. So 24, 34, and 5 is 39. So the two of these together account for 39/40ths, which means that the biker is only 1/40th. So to figure out the entire amount, I have to go 1/40th equals 20 out of whatever it is. I don't know what it is. So how do I get from 1 to 20? 1 times what gives me 20? You're going to do the same thing on the bottom, and that'll give you how many children attend the school. Give you a hint, it's a pretty big number. Okay? It's about almost 3 times the size of our school. Okay. Pause the video, go finish number 4. Number 5, in a fish tank, 2/3 are red. Got it. 1/4 is yellow. Got it. The rest are green. We don't know how many. Let's see. Oh, there are 42 more red than green. Okay. So, first of all, you should have noticed we can't do 3rds and 4ths. So 3 doesn't go into 4, 4 doesn't go into 3, so we're going to go to a number that they both go into. Easiest one is 12. So, how do I get from 3 to 12? Times 4. 3, 6, 9, 12. So 2 times 4 would give me 8. So red is 8/12. Yellow, how do I get to 12? 4 times 4, 8, 12. 4 times 3. So I got to times the top by 3, which gives me 3/12. So I have 8/12 are red, 3/12 are yellow. And they want to know what fraction are green. Well, I got to add these up and see what's left from my whole pizza. So 8 and 3, 9, 10, 11. So these two are 11/12, which means there's only 1/12 left for green, right? So A is what fraction of the fish are green? 1/12. What fraction of the total number of fish does 42 represent? here's the hint. 42 is the difference between red and green. So if I look at 8/12 and 1/12, we have 8 minus 1 would give me 7/12. So the difference between red and green is 7/12. And it says that there are 42 more reds than greens. So that means that this 7/12 equals 42 fish. Because the difference, red has 42 more fish than green. So 8/12 and 1/12, the difference is 7/12. And the difference between red and green is 42. So 7/12 has to equal 42 fish. So the second part was, what fraction does green represent? 7/12. Now, how many fish are in the tank? Okay, how do I get from 7 to 42? 7 times what gives me 42? 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42. Okay? And then you're going to do the same thing on the bottom. Whatever you times this by, you have to times this by, and that gives you your total number of fish. Okay? Go pause the video and figure it out. All right. In Tina's stamp collection, 70% are Canadian. She has 70% Canadian stamps. The rest are international. She has 500 more stamps than international stamps. How many stamps does she have? Okay, so if 70% is Canadian, the rest are international. Well, what would the rest be? A percent is out of 100. This accounts for 70, so what's left from 70 to 100? 30%. So that means 70 and 30 is 100. 70% Canadian, 30% international. She has 500 more Canadian. Okay, so let's change these into fractions. Easy breezy. 70 out of 100 and 30 out of 100, right? Now, just like in the question we just did, they gave us the difference between the two. So if 70 out of 100 and 30 out of 100, what would the difference of that be? It'd be 40 out of 100. And 40 out of 100 is the difference, which is 500 stamps. So what's the total number of stamps she has? Well, you have to figure out how many times does 40 go into 500, okay? Use your calculator, just go 500 divided by 40. Now, I'll tell you right now, you're gonna end up with a decimal, which is very weird to have on a fraction, but it works out, okay? For what you need, because you need to know what to times the 100 by to get the whole number, the total number of stamps in her collection. So figure out what 40 times what gives you 500. 500 divided by 40 will tell you that. And then times the 100 by that same number, and it will give you the total number in her collection. Okay? Pause the video, come back for the last question. Okay, last question. On a neon sign, 1/5 of the lights are yellow. The rest are blue and red. Okay? There are twice as many blue as yellow. So, all right. And there are 200 red lights on the sign. How many lights of all colors are on the sign? I know this sounds confusing. It's not at all. Okay? Just walk through it step by step. Okay. There are twice as many blue lights as yellow lights. We know there are 1/5 yellow, right? So if there's twice as many blues, that means there are 2/5 blues. And if 2 and 1 are 3 and the rest are red, that means that 2/5 are also red. It says there are 200 red lights on the sign. So that means that 2/5 is 200. But blue is also 2/5. So that means that that's also 200. 1/5 would be half as much, right? 1/5 is half as much as 2/5. So if I can cut 200 in half, I'll I'll know how many yellow lights there are, and then I can add all three up and have the total number of lights, as well as the number for each color. Okay? That's it. That's all today. Have a good day.